No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for August the 12th, 2022. The Triple H era of WWE continues as we continue on the road to Clash at the Castle. Anyways, shout out to everybody watching this, whether it's live or on demand. I appreciate your viewership and support. Let's go ahead and get started. You know it's the Triple H era when we kick off with a match, not a promo in the ring with somebody saying, "Welcome to Friday Night Smackdown." We actually started with a match, tag team title tournament for the women. We had Raquel and Aaliyah going up against Shotzi and Xia Li. Everybody got their entrance. Early on in the match, Shotzi was using the rope for leverage, and then Raquel showed off her power. Then we had Natalya and Sonya Deville at ringside. Michael Cole may or may have not spoiled the outcome of next week's match. Michael Cole said that Natalya and Sonya Deville would be facing the winners of this match. Now, of course, Natalya and Sonya have a match against Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark on next week's show. I think we all pretty much know that Natalya and Sonya Deville are winning regardless, but still, interesting that Michael Cole made that mistake. We had a huge brawl erupt. Everybody was fighting on the outside of the ring, and then Natalya and Sonya Deville were taken out of the equation. After the commercial break, the heels took the advantage for a while, and then Aaliyah countered Xia Li's suplex with a neck breaker, got the hot tag to Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel cleaned house with some fallaway slams. And then we had a distraction. Shotzi regained the upper hand, but then Aaliyah came in, speared Shotzi, and then Raquel finished off Xia Li with the power bomb. Raquel and Aaliyah advance in the tournament. No real surprise here, but good match to start off the show. And as Jose Garza pointed out, maybe they'll go in a different direction and have Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark win. I mean, I expect the heels to win because it just makes sense. The heel team going on to face Raquel and Aaliyah, face team versus heel team type of deal, but you never know. Moving on here, we had a recap of last week with Karrion Kross making his return. Then we had Kross and Scarlett in some scary backstage room. Kross cut this promo saying, "In the midst of chaos, opportunity presents itself." He talked about a rebirth. He talked about how Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, they are the chosen ones. And he, Karrion Kross, was cast out of paradise. He was forgotten about, but he waited for the perfect time to strike with vengeance. And he said that eventually everybody pays the toll. And then he said, tick-tock. He looked over. Drew McIntyre was making his way to the ring. Drew McIntyre came into the ring, cut a promo, said that it's an exciting time. New faces are showing up. He knows that Karrion Kross has been waiting a year for an opportunity, but at this point, there are only three options for Karrion Kross. One, he gets knocked out. Two, he goes to the hospital, not local medical facility, but hospital. Another sign of the Triple H era. Or three, the graveyard. McIntyre said he will send Kross back to the dungeon that he crawled out of. I guess a little reference to that helmet and medieval attire that Kross had. Then Drew turned his attentions to Roman Reigns, said that Roman Reigns is not there, of course, not at work. Then all of a sudden we had Scarlett interrupt. We had the full Karrion Kross black and white entrance with Scarlett walking down to the ring. However, it was a trap. The Usos showed up and attacked Drew McIntyre from behind. They hit the 1D. And then the Usos had some words for Scarlett saying that if Karrion Kross steps up, Roman Reigns will put him down. Good segment here. I liked Drew's promo and I liked Kross's promo. Dr. Dakota Scorpio sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, to be fair, Drew was distracted by a beautiful lady. Very true. He did turn his back. And I guess you cannot blame the guy, right? She's like Medusa. She has a way to hypnotize men. Walter Cruz sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Walter. I appreciate it. Says, say yes to no DQ, like and share. Hashtag stick to my shtick. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. No sword from Drew McIntyre this week. Maybe he had to return it back to Vince. Wasn't that Vince's sword that Drew McIntyre was using? Anyways, we had a really cool video package for the Intercontinental title. Again, more of the Triple H effect. One of the noticeable things over the past few weeks on the shows, WWE, Triple H in particular, the Triple H regime trying to rehab the mid-card titles, the United States title and the Intercontinental title. And Michael Cole even called it the workhorse title, which is a term that has been used for decades. The IC title usually being contested between the top wrestlers in the company, not necessarily the top stars, but the guys that could deliver the best matches. And we saw clips of Austin and The Rock, Triple H, Roddy Piper, Mr. Perfect, so on and so forth. So this was really cool. I like that they're doing this, trying to make the titles important again. We had what was supposed to be Kofi Kingston versus Ivar, but Kofi Kingston ended up attacking both of the Viking Raiders with the kendo stick, Kendo Kofi. However, Eric used his shield to block the kendo stick shot, and then the Vikings gained the upper hand. Ivar hit Kofi with the shield, and then Ivar jumped on the barricade, jumped off the barricade, and hit a big splash to Kofi Kingston. I guess next week there's going to be a funeral for the New Day, but I sense maybe we'll see Xavier Woods resurface next week, and that funeral will be premature. We had Sami Zayn knocking on Roman Reigns' door, even though Roman Reigns was apparently not there, according to Drew McIntyre. Usos came out of the locker room. They were angry at Sami Zayn, and Zayn said they needed to talk. But all of a sudden, Drew McIntyre attacked the Usos, and Sami Zayn ran away instead of helping out the Usos. Then we had another return. We had the return of Hit Row minus Swerve Strickland, who is under contract to AEW now. But we had the other three, Top Dollar, Adonis, and B-Fab, the three Hit Row members other than Swerve Scott that did not go to AEW. They are back on SmackDown, and they got a pretty decent reaction considering that they were barely on SmackDown. They came down and they won a squash match. Basically, this was to reintroduce them to the fans. They cut a post-match promo, and B-Fab asked if the fans missed them. They all did their little shtick, and it was good. Solid stuff here to get us reintroduced to them, and they're back now. And I think that this is something that is very much needed. Good timing for Hit Row to be back, because the Usos, they need some babyface tag teams to go after. And this is good timing for Hit Row to be back as a tag team with B-Fab managing them. I'm all for it. Why not? And V1 Shanti says, say yes to no DQ. And he sent in a $5 super chat. He has a request here. Please, no letter grade down for the contract signing this time. This was a tad bit different than usual. Well, typically, I do give a letter grade down for contract signings, and I still do not like them. But I thought that this was an entertaining segment, this contract signing segment, which we will get to in just a second here. They did acknowledge Jean LaBelle, who passed away. Michael Cole talked about him being an icon in pro wrestling. He said pro wrestling. So cool that they mentioned Jean LaBelle, and yeah, this was a nice little tribute. They put up a graphic for him. I'm thinking in the Vince McMahon era, this probably would not have happened. But hey, it's a new era. It's a new day. Yes, it is. So we had what was supposed to be a Liv Morgan and Shayna Baszler contract signing for Clash at the Castle. However, Ronda Rousey crashed the party. She had a bag. She said she wasn't supposed to be there. The crowd was chanting for Ronda, and she opened up the bag, dumped the bag of money on the table, said she was fined a lot of money, but she doubled the fine because she can afford it, and it's not going to be the last time. Security and referees came down, and one of them was a woman, and she got taken down by Ronda, but Ronda did spare her. And then Ronda took her leave, and as she was leaving, Shayna Baszler came down. Shayna was upset with Ronda, saying that this is not how you do things here. And Ronda's response was, Shayna used to be a killer. So nice little reference to their history. And Ronda walked off, and then Shayna went to the ring. Shayna cut a promo, said that Liv's the next one to fall. She signed the contract, and then Liv Morgan came to the ring, called Shayna Baszler a bootleg Ronda Rousey. And Liv said that she already beat the real deal twice, and she's going to beat Shayna at Clash at the Castle. Crowd was chanting, "You tapped out," at our babyface champion, by the way. And then Shayna Baszler attacked Liv, went after the injured arm, stomped on the arm, but then Liv Morgan countered Baszler and ended up putting Baszler through the table with a bulldog. So the table broke, but they haven't done this in a long time. And for a contract signing, this one was better than average. I still think that Shayna should have left Liv Morgan laying to get the heel heat, but at the same time, Liv needs to have some momentum. You know, she's been looking kind of weak over the last several weeks, and she is the champion. So I guess I'm okay with Liv getting the best of Baszler at the end of this. Makes her look tough, and they got to do something because the crowd is very quickly turning against Liv Morgan, and they got to get people behind her again if she's going to be a babyface. But yeah, it's interesting how now Ronda Rousey's getting cheered and Liv Morgan is getting booed. And I like what they're doing with Shayna, getting her back into the mix. So good stuff here overall. I mean, this was one of the better contract signing segments in a while. And no, I do not think Eva Marie is returning. I mean, a lot of people are coming back, but I think it's safe to say that Liv Morgan will, or not Liv Morgan, Eva Marie will not be coming back. Probably she will never be coming back if I had to make a guess. So moving on here, another backstage segment with the Usos and Sami Zayn. The Usos were upset that Sami Zayn ran away, but Sami said he was just trying to get some security. And they warned him to either step up or he's going to get left behind. We then had Drew McIntyre versus the Usos in a handicap match. It was supposed to be a tag match. The Usos came down and told Drew to get a tag team partner, but Drew decided to go at it alone. However, he did get overwhelmed after a while. But then Madcap Moss ran down to fill in and be the tag team partner for McIntyre. He cleaned house. Usos did gain the upper hand after the commercial break. Drew McIntyre got a hot tag, and then Sami Zayn interfered. Usos took advantage of this, hit the super kick, Uso splash, but McIntyre kicked out, and then Madcap Moss took care of Jay. Drew finished off Jimmy with the Claymore, got the 1-2-3 victory. Tag team champions losing here in this situation, but not a big deal. They've been on such a roll lately, and this is, you know, when it's okay. And if they're gonna lose to anybody, losing to McIntyre, it's fine. I'm not gonna complain about this. And you elevated Madcap Moss too by getting the win with McIntyre. So I'm okay. I'm okay with this booking decision. And then afterwards, Jay tried to sneak attack McIntyre, but McIntyre took him down and then went for the Claymore. Sami Zayn got in the ring and ended up taking the bullet for Jay. He took the Claymore. He pushed Jay out of the way and took the hit. So you also continue that storyline too with Sami Zayn and the Usos. Overall, I enjoyed this very much. Building Nexus sent in a $5 super chat, says, if Roman Reigns beats Drew McIntyre, maybe we will see Reigns versus Kross at some point. Maybe Crown Jewel. We'll see. I still think McIntyre needs to win the title here. But if for some reason Roman Reigns retains, then Karrion Kross would certainly be next in line. But I really want to see McIntyre get that win in the United Kingdom. Like, that would be one of the biggest reactions in WWE history. Like, you got to do it, I think. But I know some people want to see Reigns stay champion through WrestleMania. I just don't know who you have beat him for the title other than McIntyre. And the fact is, my opinion changed when Reigns became a part-timer. If Reigns was not a part-timer, I would have said keep him as champion for as long as possible until you have that next rising top star show up to beat him. But they don't have that guy yet. So I say have McIntyre do it. And Cody got hurt. If Cody had not gotten hurt, I would have argued for Cody. So anyways, B-Man sent in a $5 super chat, says, fans since no DQ&A video number 47. Oh, wow. I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat. He says, if Triple H is in charge for the next decade, who do you think he'll push to be the next megastars like John Cena, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar? That's a great question. I mean, I still think Braun Breaker is going to be groomed to be the next face of the company. He's pretty much universally liked. Wasn't just a Vince guy. I think a lot of people have been high on him. wrestling fans and people in the industry alike. And we'll see. You never know. Sometimes somebody who might not seem obvious will end up surprising people and will become a major star pretty much out of nowhere. You just don't know. But Cody Rhodes, I definitely think once he's back, he'll be a focal point on the shows. And never say never. Maybe Logan Paul. Maybe he'll get more into wrestling and he'll be more than just a special attraction. You never know. Moving on here, we had the Maximum Male Models doing a photo shoot backstage with Max Dupree and Maxine Dupree. And you had Humberto and Angel Garza. I guess he's Angel Garza again. He got his full name back. They interrupted and said that the MMM should sign them. And Max Dupree said that they're not MMM material. And then they responded by saying that they were not talking to Max. They were talking to Maxine. So setting up a little program with these guys, fine. There's no problem with this. I'm cool with it. Makes sense. Humberto and Angel Garza, they go around talking about their good looks. So to me, it's a natural feud with these guys. I'm all for it. And have Angel and Humberto as baby faces again. I'm fine with it. And we had a video package for Gunther and Shinsuke Nakamura. So not only did we have the Intercontinental title video package, but we also had a video package specifically for Gunther versus Shinsuke Nakamura. So I'm liking what they're doing here, and the IC title match got the main event spot. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, will Tyler Breeze join Los Lotharios to fight MMM? Well, if Triple H is all about bringing back former talent, that's always a possibility. And hey, you could even bring them back as a one-off. I've always argued this, that it would be cool to bring in people for one-offs or special appearances, names from the past, just to keep the shows feeling like must see. You never know who might show up. If you miss a show, you might see an interesting name from the past show up for a one-off. You never know. So yeah, I would be fine with that if it was just for a one-off. I'm not really sure if Tyler Breeze should be brought back as a full-time guy, but might be cool to see him. Maybe Breezango come in for one match. Why not? And we had a Ricochet interview, and he talked about the Corbin match from last week when he beat Corbin. He said he's more locked in than he's been in a long time, and he's going to be waiting in line for an IC title opportunity. But then all of a sudden, bum-ass Corbin attacked him and said they ain't done yet. They are just getting started. Michael Cole did announce that WWE had the best first-day ticket sales ever for a WrestleMania when tickets went on sale this week for WrestleMania 39 in California. Apparently, it was a very hot ticket, and they're going fast. So there you go. WrestleMania 39 without any matches being announced. Looks like it's going to draw some big numbers for WWE. We had footage, a little video package for Nikita Lyons and Zoe Stark. And I like this, introducing them to the casual viewers that might not be watching NXT. This is how you do it. You do the video package. They explain what they're all about. Nikita's more about the dancing and being flashy, and Zoe's more the technical one, but together they make a good pairing. So yeah, I liked this. Definitely builds them up for next week and gets people familiar with them. Thumbs up. And I was asked by Wilson in the chat room if I'm going to WrestleMania 39. I mentioned this last night on No DQ&A video. If you missed it, it's on demand. About an hour of questions answered. Very, very fun live stream. Probably not. My days of going to WrestleMania are likely over just because it's too much of a hassle for me personally, having to run the site, doing the live results, and then doing the live stream afterwards. I much prefer to just sit at home on my couch, watch on high definition television, and just be able to do my work. I went to WrestleMania 31. I got the stadium experience. I don't need to do it again. But to everybody going, have a great time. We had a main event. IC Championship match. Shinsuke Nakamura challenging Gunther for the IC title. And Michael Cole was putting it over on commentary, talking about how the champion makes every live event, defends the title around the world. And they even listed the champions. Some of the champions, not all of them, obviously, but they mentioned several of the key guys like Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin. And talked about how Gunther is making it the greatest prize in wrestling. Yes, he said the word wrestling. So again, you're seeing little changes with Triple H, trying to make the titles more important, easing up on some of the banned terms. They're saying hospital again. They're saying wrestling again. I mean, they were saying wrestling. Every once in a while, the term wrestling would be said, but most of the time it was sports entertainment. Basically easing up on using those terms that people tend not to use in real life. So this match was pretty awesome. They got a good amount of time, and they had a little bit of a feeling out process in the beginning. Gunther, though, got the early upper hand, hit the big boot, put him in a Boston Crab, transitioned into an STF. Shin got to the rope, and then Shin started going after the arm, and that's what really helped him in this match. Worked over the arm, and Gunther went up for a splash, but Shin caught him in an arm submission, and Gunther was able to break out with a suplex. However, it took a lot out of his arm. He was selling his arm, and Walter Cruz sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you, Walter. Says, shocked that Nakamura never lost any part of his name. Yeah, not everybody did. Some guys did, some guys did not. And Nakamura was one of those guys that did not lose his name. So Nakamura was doing well, and then he got in Ludwig Kaiser's face. Gunther took advantage, hit a big drop kick, but then Nakamura recovered, and Nakamura went for the Kinshasa, but got hit with a clothesline. He kicked out of it. Crowd started chanting, "This is awesome." And then Nakamura went back and forth a little bit more, but then Gunther hit the power bomb and picked up the 1-2-3 victory to retain the championship. And Dr. Dakota Scorpio sent in a $2 super chat. Says the IC title was defended anywhere but on a premium live event so far. Yeah, I'm hoping they do it at Clash at the Castle. And Peter Taylor in the chat room mentioned Sheamus. Why not? If they're going to the United Kingdom, Sheamus challenging Gunther at Clash at the Castle. Book it, Triple H. I would be totally down for that. Or even Pete Dunne, Butch versus Gunther, although probably not as believable. I think Sheamus should be the one. Sheamus, Gunther, as the kids would say, those guys would probably have a banger. And Walter Cruz said, anyone else shocked about the names? And I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, he got to keep his full name for his entire run. Good old JM Jeff Meacham sent in $5. How's it going, Jeff? Says, good show, boss. And he has a quick plug here. Open mic night tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern. Looking forward to the No DQ review number 200 next week and covering the Clash and All Out. Hashtag say yes to No DQ. Thank you again, Jeff. And yes, I guess a quick plug for No DQ Review 200 coming up next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And we're going to have open discussion. You guys can super chat any wrestling question, and we're going to have a rotating panel most likely. As many people that have been on the No DQ Review as possible are going to be on. We're going to invite pretty much the whole No DQ team on. Anybody that wants to be on from our group is going to be on, and maybe a few surprises. You never know. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says, will NXT UK be involved at Clash at the Castle? Probably not. I really don't think we're going to see any incarnation of NXT at the UK pay-per-view, but hey, it would be a nice idea to do that, just to have them be part of the show in some way. Maybe even do it as a opening match or something like that, or a kickoff match. Oh, here's an idea. Building Nexus with the $2 super chat says, how about the Usos versus the Brawling Brutes in the UK? I like it. Why not? Sheamus goes for the IC title. Brawling Brutes, even though they're heels, like, you could turn those guys face at least for one show. Why not? I would be down for that. Michael Wayne says he wants to see Greg Cherry on No DQ Review 200. Well, tweet him. Say you want to see him on the show. We'd love to have Greg on. And Tegan Knox is another name that I would not be shocked if she ends up back in WWE, considering she was another one that was pretty much given up on very quickly by the Vince McMahon regime. And she was pushed very strongly in NXT. So overall, this was one of the best SmackDowns of the year. Like, this was a show like Raw where it felt like everything was important. And there was little to no filler on this show. You know, they did a great job building up the IC title, and they also hyped up Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre confronting each other next week. So yeah, not too much filler. And honestly, there's really not much I can say that I did not like. Not really anything. I'm giving this show an A-. Like, very strong show. Like I said, one of the best SmackDowns in a long time. And when I can not really find much to complain about, that's a very good thing. Because my job here is to critique the show and try to see what they could do better. And, like, I'm not really sure I could have done this show much better. I think they did a great job with it. Definitely moving in the right direction. And Keith, I liked the MMM segment. If they're going to feud with anybody, Garza and Humberto makes sense to me. Like, everything made sense. Like, there's nothing I'm like, why are they doing this? Like, I get it. I can understand every booking decision on this show. Even the Liv Morgan stuff, like I said, they gotta build her up as a strong champion. So, having her recover from the Shayna attack, gives her some toughness, which she really needs at this point. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, what's going on with Lacey Evans? Apparently, she's not medically cleared. I know there's some speculation that because she's a so-called Vince project that we're not going to see much of her, but I still think Triple H is going to try to find something for everybody, and Omos is still being utilized. I think we'll see her back at some point. The only one Shanti says, say yes to No DQ, sent in a $2 super chat, says, which show of the week would you pick? That is tough. I mean, I really liked Dynamite this week. I thought Dynamite was a great show. I might actually go with SmackDown, though, by a slim margin. Dynamite kind of had a weak middle. The two matches to kick off the show were great, and then the main event was great, and then the middle was just kind of okay. But SmackDown, I thought, was pretty strong for the whole 2 hours, and it flew by very quickly. So I think as the whole package goes, probably SmackDown, but AEW was great too. Just overall, Raw was solid too. This week, everything was really strong television, and I know fans like to criticize one company and praise the other one. Both shows delivered. Both brands delivered this week. WWE with Raw and SmackDown, and AEW. I enjoyed everything I watched on TV this week. So I'm a happy camper. Have a great weekend, everyone. We had a great turnout tonight, too. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, if you're watching this for the first time, I hope you enjoyed. Please consider giving this video a like on YouTube and subscribing if you haven't already. We're very close to 60,000. So anything you can do to spread the word about the channel would be very much appreciated. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, when you see them coming, better run for cover. Girls, you don't need a weekend lover. American males. Best wrestling theme song of all time, right, guys? American males. Buff Bagwell always had some good songs. He had that song. He had the NWOB theme song, which I actually liked. And then he had, of course, the Buff Daddy song. Buff always got some good music. So that's it, everyone. Take care. Have a great night. And stay safe. Stay positive, but not COVID positive, of course. And remember to say yes to NoDQ.com. And I will see you all next time.